On this episode of Sugar Free Shawn, Shawn talks with Chef Siva about some easy ways to incorporate delicious and healthy eating into your daily routine.
I met Siva a number of years ago when we were both volunteering for the Canadian Diabetes Association. And Siva is one of those people that just walks into the room and lights it up. She always has a smile on her face and always has time to help others. Today she's invited us into her home and she's going to help us prepare some simple, easy, and delicious breakfast tips because Siva is a trained chef and also lives with type 1 diabetes. So looking forward to not only tasting some great food, but helping you prepare your breakfast in a healthy and nutritious way.
I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 8 years ago, and it was diagnosed on November 14th, 2005, World Diabetes Day. And it's something that you really don't think about, you know, in your adult years. And there you are one day, you know, you're bicycling, next day you just fall, and I knew there was something different and didn't get properly diagnosed. So after 5 months of struggling with whatever that was happening to me, and my body completely changed. And the endocrinologist said I had type 1 diabetes. So that was a sort of a lump in my throat. How do you deal with a major chronic disease? And so that sort of took me for a spin, especially being a chef, diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Everybody said, oh my God, you know, what are you going to do? And but then, you know, after some thought and, you know, thinking, it's not as bad as you think it is. I mean, of course, it's a major chronic disease, but that's not the end of the world. So you just look at things a little differently.
So we're here in Siva's kitchen today, and she's prepared a couple of healthy breakfast options. Because I don't know, Siva, I get asked a lot about, well, how can I eat healthy at breakfast? And what about when I'm on the go during the week? So you've prepared 3 dishes.
Yeah.
So for somebody like me that's probably like a really amateur cook in the kitchen, how easy are these to prepare?
I mean, like I said, the idea is basically to have access to some of these ingredients. And then once you have these ingredients, like for example, quinoa, it's so easy to prepare and you just soak it and it just works just like oatmeal. And you cook it with whatever your favorite dried fruit is and some nuts. And if you have nut allergy, you can use pumpkin seeds. And it just takes literally 20 minutes to prepare.
Okay. So why don't we start with something that, you know, we might do when we've got a little bit more time.
Yes.
And that's the tortilla.
Yes. What I have here is an avocado, which is great. And then again, avocado is a great healthy fat. And it could use it in the place of butter, for example. And what I love about this is the avocado is so easy and versatile. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put it in our tortilla. So what we have here is...
What kind of tortilla?
This is a whole wheat tortilla, and the tortilla is about 15 grams of carbohydrate and 3 grams of fiber. So you know this is really good and it's healthy. And what we have here is some scrambled eggs. So what I have here is about it's 2 eggs, so you can depends on what your appetite is. Some eggs, and I have some cherry tomatoes chopped and ready to go. You could also use like a fresh salsa if you have at home. And what I have here is some cottage cheese. And again, it's a low-fat cheese. It's so good and it's healthy. And then what we have here is the avocado. And you just kind of push it with your thumb and they just come out all out. Isn't that?
Wow.
Yeah.
That was quick.
That's really quick. See? And it's delicious and it looks so good and it's colorful. And then I'm just going to put some nice thyme and fresh thyme. It's good. See, you don't, there's no real work, and it just gives it a nice lemony taste. Shot of pepper. Voila. You just wrap it up nice and tight like this, and then secure it with a toothpick. Voila, this is it. And then what I would do is put a foil around it and take it to your work, or wrap it and then you could eat it in a car.
Wow.
Yes.
You're taking the mystery out of it. Taking all of my excuses of, oh, I don't have time, I'm not a chef.
So you see how simple that was. I mean, it doesn't take very long to prepare something like that. And maybe if you're having brunch, some nice little fruits and some cottage cheese. And what do you have? A really healthy breakfast. You know, engaging with the community is a huge part of doing what I do. You know, I do 50% cooking and 50% is all advocacy, whether it's CDA or, you know, other communities. For example, the South Asian Diabetes Exposed, I always say it's a labor of love. It takes about 2-3 months to bring it all together. And then seeing a room full of people, honestly, it's just all that work just pays off. And engaging with the community in that way, because again, you know, every year we see new faces because they don't know or they've been touched by diabetes or somebody in the family has diabetes. So having the connection to the community is huge. And like I said, bringing you know, up-to-date information on diabetes, and also, you know, not to beat people over the head, but I think bringing that awareness and knowledge is key. I always say it's powerful. So bringing that sort of timely information, you know, gathering all the specialists, you know, from the medical professional, endocrinologists, dietitians, and physical fitness, you know, instructors, bringing them into, you know, one room and engaging and watching people exercise or being curious about all the, you know, the food demos or the topics. It's just so thrilling. Well, we have Bishur muesli, which is sort of a flaked oats. I would prefer like a rolled oats, but flake oats so easy to do, but still has a lot of fiber and it's healthy. And what we have here is a night before, like a low-fat yogurt, low-fat milk, and some fruits. And guess what? It's absolutely easy to do, and you just mix them all together.
So you would usually do this the night before?
Yeah, because it needs to soak. So, you know, it needs about 2-3 hours so that the oats is sort of incorporated. I also have some grated apple here and some cinnamon, some vanilla. Smell, I mean, it smells so good. And then what I would do is just add a little bit of milk and voila. That's a healthy breakfast.
You're ready to go.
And you're ready to go. So what we have here is a warm quinoa porridge, and I cook. You can traditionally I usually make it with steel cut oats. Steel cut oats kind of looks like this, so it's sort of laser cut and it's got the whole grain in it. But I wanted to sort of make this celiac friendly. You can prepare this a night before. So the next morning, all you have to do is warm it in the microwave oven for like, you know, 30 seconds, and you have a warm porridge. And again, with some almond milk, you're ready to go.
Wow, I love that. You know, you talk about a little bit of time the night before saves you a lot of time and energy in the morning, and you tend to make better choices then.
Absolutely. Or while you're preparing your dinner, the next stove, you can just get this going, and guess what? You know, your breakfast is ready. Just cool it and put it in the fridge, and you have wonderful porridge for like next 2-3 days. And I really love the morning when I can have a warm porridge at home. Again, you can take this to work or whatever. So again, all of these breakfast ideas I talked about they're very portable, but yet they're so wholesome and tasty. That's key, because if it's not going to taste good, you know what, you're going to be, you know, picking at something else.
Stopping at a drive-through.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yes.
Great.
You can see I have a huge grin on my face, because that's the huge myth. People kind of think healthy food has to be boring and it's brown and mushy or whatever. How it was 20 years ago brought up as sort of like, oh, healthy food. But healthy food these days is so wonderful. It's very Epicurean. It's all about using fresh ingredients. And one of my philosophy is cooking fresh, which means like you cook everything yourself, so that it takes a little time, but it's a bit of, you know, reworking some things in your kitchen and rejigging a little bit. So it's a bit of a planning, but it's wonderful because eating healthy doesn't have to cost a lot of money or doesn't cost a lot of time. It's just sort of rethinking the way we eat. And it's such a payoff, because you know that you can feel it in your body, you know, you have energy, your blood sugar is great, and your whole family enjoys it. I think it's a win-win situation.
So a big thank you to Siva for hosting us today in her kitchen and showing us 3 simple, easy, and delicious, yes, I said delicious, recipes to start your day. To find out more information and tasty recipes, you can visit Siva's blog listed below, and you can also opt into your free subscription of Performance Magazine, where Siva has a regular recipe that you can prepare at home. And we're very grateful, Hank and I, that Siva prepared a great tasty breakfast for us to go. And I'm gonna see you next time on the next episode of the Sugar-Free Shawn Show, but I'm just gonna open this up and take a big bite and before I go. That's really good. All right, bye for now. We'll see you in the next episode of the Sugar-Free Shawn Show.
On the next episode of Sugar-Free Shawn, Shawn will sit down with author, diabetes educator, and all-around great guy Joe Solowaychuk to discuss ways families can work together to live well with diabetes.